Alright, we're back with the list on the phone of 5 more players my brain is not going to let me give up on. I have a couple of ideas that were my own personal ones and a couple from some comments I've gotten, and thank you to everybody that's commented and given me ideas across all my platforms. Obviously, these ones are a lot more ranty than some of the other content that I make, and it's a lot more unstructured, I guess. It's more just me talking, and I don't really have a plan for these, but it's kind of fun in a way. Just talking about basketball players that, there's no reason that I still think that they have a chance to be a star, but I do. The first one that comes to mind for me is Markelle Fultz. I don't know what it is about Magic players that my brain just doesn't give up on them. They just had a fun team for the last couple of years. Markelle Fultz actually had a good role on the team for the last couple of years. It was very surprising to me that he did not get signed anywhere in this offseason. I was actually waiting to figure out where he got signed this offseason. He was one of those guys that I thought was going to be a sneaky pickup for a playoff team to, make that jump from a middle of the pack team to maybe a contender or a high playoff team. And he just never signed anywhere. I know recently he was in the buyout market. Obviously he wasn't bought out, but he was in that market. He signed with the Kings. He's played 3 games on okay splits. He really hasn't played that much, just 10 minutes a game. It's only been 3 games so far, but looking back at his 2 seasons in Orlando, and I'm looking down at my computer right now, which is why, I'm not looking at the camera, but he had 1 full season where he was a starter for 60 games, started 60 games, 30 minutes a night, and he put up 14 and 6 on pretty good splits, 51 from the field, 31% from 3, right? Jumper needed a little bit of work, but he could still get downhill and score. He took care of the ball. 2.3 isn't terrible for a starting point guard. It's not league shattering, but that's a pretty solid assist to turnover ratio. He looked like he had found his home finally. He had his first year in Orlando, 2019, 2020, 72 games played, started 60, relatively good numbers as well. Again, the jumper's always been the issue. Since those just mystery injuries that he had in Philly, the jumper's always been the issue. But yeah, a guy coming out of Washington that he looked like he deserved to be the number 1 pick. For a reason, he was drafted number 1. And whatever happened in Philly, probably the same thing that's happened with Joel Embiid, but that's its own thing. Their medical staff, I don't know. But he got to Orlando and he's had a good career for Orlando. That's why it surprised me they didn't bring him back and nobody picked him up. And I'm hoping he gets an actual chance in Sacramento. I know that he's only played 3 games. He's not really getting any minutes. The team looks a lot different than it did just a couple months ago. But man, if he could even get a 6th man role, I think he really could be a top 6th man in the league. Star, probably not. I think my brain is still gonna watch him and love watching him play basketball. I don't think he's ever gonna be an all-star, but I think he can carve out an NBA career that's an underrated player of an era type of career if he gets his chances. I don't know if he'll get that in Sacramento, but that's the first one on the list is Markelle Fultz. The next one on the list is Mac McClung. I got a comment from Shakir. Thank you for commenting. I don't know how I forgot about him the first time. Mac McClung just won his 3rd dunk contest. The NBA just rolls him out for dunk contests, and that's it. And he's a good basketball player. We've been seeing him dunk since he was 16 on the internet, right? I think he's maybe my age, maybe a year older. Just kidding. He's a lot older than me. Good God. But my point still stands. He's 26 and he's really not gotten an actual chance in the NBA. In 3 years is what he's considered as a 3-year pro. He's played 5 games. I don't know. I had some ideas coming out of the All-Star break of what you could do to spice it up or keep the NBA exciting during the middle of the season. And honestly, one of the crazy things, and it would help out Mac McClung a lot, is your award winners. If you're gonna bring up guys from the G League, they have to play in the NBA for 10 days or 5 games or something. Give them a chance. That would help out Mac McClung a ton, because I think he honestly could do something on an NBA court. I think that if he truly got the chance, could be a star in this league, or at least a solid starter. He's 26, he still has a chance to do it. But man, they just bring him up for the dunk contest and that's it. They don't even give him a chance to do anything else. I got another former Orlando Magic and another former Philadelphia 76er, and that's Michael Carter Williams. Now his career is pretty much over. He last played for the Magic in 2022-23, and he didn't even play overseas in this last year. And it's been a while truly since he's gotten real NBA minutes. 2020-2021 was the last time he got real NBA minutes. But again, another guy from those Magic teams that was just a fun guy. But triple double in your first NBA game, rookie of the year, all rookie of your first team. He absolutely peaked in his rookie year. But it's a guy like, I loved watching him play when I was younger. I wish Philly wouldn't have given up on him and traded him to Milwaukee, because that did honestly kind of ruin his career a little bit. Obviously, his career's over, but this is a guy that more, if you look back, I think if he gets his chance to be Philly's point guard and they don't try and move on from him, he could be a star in that role. I mean, looking at this trade, they traded him away for what looks to be like a first round pick, and that's, I don't see what they're getting in this trade. The first round pick ended up being Mikal Bridges, but the Sixers didn't keep Mikal Bridges, so they got nothing for their, probably could have been their franchise point guard. I thought for whatever reason they traded for Jrue Holiday. I'm thinking in the wrong order, because Jrue Holiday was a Sixer before then. I don't know. It's just a guy that, like, he was like my background on all my like computer and stuff when I was in like elementary school and middle school. It's just a guy that I think he could have been a star. In an alternate universe, Michael Carter Williams is an all-star at some point in his career, but MCW never really got that chance, and now he's 33 and done playing basketball, and it sucks. Syracuse legend, man. Now, when you talk about a guy that's gotten the opportunities but hasn't executed, it's Bol Bol. I feel like he has gotten the opportunities. I feel like a lot of people have given up on him. I haven't personally. I think if a team really truly commits to just like building on him, like if he's on, like say the Sixers this year, like a team that's just, it's a year that we're just gonna waste, or like the Grizzlies last year, like everybody's hurt, but let's just waste the year, see if we can find something, and let's just run the offense through somebody random, right? Like you think of like Vince Williams last year. Like Vince Williams got his opportunity because Memphis had so many injuries last year. I think honestly, if Bol Bol was in a situation like that, where hey, there's no like pressures, like we're literally out of players to replace you with, I think he'd thrive, and you could see where you could really find a role for him. I just don't know where you put Bol Bol right now, right? A 7'3", 220-pound power forward. He's too skinny to be a true center. He doesn't really have those skills, but he has guard skills. You want him to be KD, but I don't know if he can, and it's just, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna click for him at some point, and it's a guy that he's 25. He still has time to figure it out, and I think Bol Bol honestly could be a solid starter, maybe a 1-2-time all-star at his peak if he has the opportunity and if he figures it out. I don't know how many more teams are going to give him the opportunity, because I feel like he's gotten a lot of opportunities, but if it clicks for him, I think he could be a star in the NBA and could be one of these guys that's like these super tall, just like genetic freak unicorns, the Giannis's, the Chets, the Sheas almost. He's a little shorter than the group, the Wembys. I don't know why I couldn't think of Wemby right away, but like that type of player. Bol Bol was kind of the predecessor for those guys, but he's also young enough that he could still be in that group of guys. So I think he still has a chance to be a star. And finally, the last one, and I think probably the most realistic one, is Cam Whitmore. Cam Whitmore has a little bit less of a role than he did his rookie year, and that is because the Rockets are just so deep and so good that he's getting less minutes than he did last year, and he cannot find a consistent role. It's not necessarily his fault. It's not necessarily Houston's fault, but this is a guy that, hey, when we want to condense our talent, let's trade him, and when he gets traded, he's going to be one of these guys that it's going to look like the Rockets lost the trade, right? 5-10 years down the road, because he's going to have a heck of a career to wherever they trade him. You trade him to say you trade him to like Washington, right? Like the Rockets really want Jordan Poole for whatever reason. So you get Jordan Poole, and it's like Cam Whitmore, a couple other like just solid young guys. Cam Whitmore is going to go put up numbers. I do think that if you give him the opportunities, he's going to get the numbers. And I know I keep saying it's just opportunities, but like this is a guy that he's getting less opportunities than he had last year, and it's hurting his development, but he's in his second year and he's 20 years old. This has the most realistic chance of happening. I truly think that there's a world that pretty much the Rockets, I think, have like 6'7" to 6'9" wings that are all going to be stars, and it's just whichever ones get the playing time. And the rest of the guys better get out of town to become stars. And then Cam Whitmore's a guy that we see the Rockets move on from, and then he goes and blows up somewhere else. I think he does have a very, very realistic shot of becoming a star somewhere else. I don't know how long this is going to be after I cut it, but unedited, a 13-minute rant about 5 NBA players that I think are going to be stars, or should have been. I don't know. My brain won't give up on them, just like the last 5. If you have any more ideas, please send them my way. I would love to just talk about random NBA players, even if I'm just hyping them up for no reason. I know some of these guys don't have a chance, but I honestly think that the NBA is so talented that everybody, if they got a chance and got real minutes, they could be a star. And also, my definition of star is very light, so please, if you have ideas, send them to me. I'll talk about them. And 6-man could be considered star for this video. I just would love to have ideas because these are fun to just sit and rant and just kind of look at just players. So yeah, 5 more guys that my brain still believes will be a star. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.